How can someone be possessed with evil and then turn around and be possessed with good? That's something I grappled with 1 Samuel 19. I had to reread it several times for it to kind of click. So David fled Saul a second time by literally climbing out his window. And Michal, his wife, covered for him by putting an idol with goat hair in their bed and claiming that he was sick when Saul summoned David. So Saul ordered the physician to bring him in his bed to Saul so that he could kill him. But when the physician went there, he found that David was not in his bed. And Saul said, "Why did you lie to me, Michal, and say that he was sick?" She was pretty rude and said, "He threatened to kill me if I didn't let him escape out the window." So Saul sent several agents after David, and when they arrived in the city that he'd fled to, they came upon Samuel and some prophets who were prophesying, and they too became overcome by the Spirit of God and began to prophesy. Now, this word prophesying in context here is meaning worshiping God or being very strongly compelled by the Spirit to worship God. So when Saul heard of this, he sent more agents, and the same thing happened. And then he sent a third wave of agents, and the same thing happened. So he himself went to the city where David was. He came upon the prophets and Samuel. He began doing the same thing. He actually took off his clothes before Samuel and worshiped God right then and there, and was left kind of dazed and confused all day and all night. And then I realized something similar happened with him back in 1 Samuel 10. Only this time it was when Samuel had anointed Saul as the future king. There were prophets coming down from a mountain, and when Saul happened upon them, he began prophesying or worshiping, in this case, God along with them, so that people asked, "Is Saul among the prophets now?" And here in 1 Samuel 19, the same thing happens. When they see him in the city prophesying before Samuel, the people asked, "Is Saul among the prophets now?" So I'm not a theologian. I have not been to seminary. So you can take my interpretations with a grain of salt. But I do ask God every time I read to help me understand. My current understanding of this is you can not be in fellowship with God. You can be far from him. You could not consider yourself a believer, but still be used by him to deliver his messages and praise his name, simply by who or what you are in proximity to. Likewise, you can be a believer. You can say that you are of God and be used by Satan to deliver his messages, to throw his spears and commit damage he intends for others. All because of who or what you are in proximity to, who you are keeping company with, what you are allowing in your life, and what you are keeping close to your heart.